ready to rumble? Welcome to Jaw Jacking with Bob and TC on IntellectualRadio.com. Again, that's IntellectualRadio.com. You know it must be Sunday from 5 o'clock to 6 o'clock. That means that hour totally belongs to us, and we totally accept it. I think I got it this time, Earl, Winfrey, and TC. But anyway, I would like to welcome everybody to the show, all the listening audience. You know what? I'm not going to waste any time with introducing my guest today. And this is for one of our critiques from you to us. This is from D from Allied Tube, right?
Yep.
Right? D, this D, right?
Yep.
My man from the south side of Chicago, Illinois, the Wild Wild Hundreds. My man Martise, TC Wash, Senior.
Wow.
That's
What's up,
the
everybody? What up, Bob?
How you doing, man?
Oh, good. How was your week, man?
Oh, man, it was a real eventful weekend.
Okay.
My weekend really turned tight at the end, but I'll talk about that later. Actually, I'll tell y'all about that later. But welcome to the show. First, we'd like to say we have 3 segments that we always push during the show. The first one is called From You to Us. TC.
Oh, yeah. Another segment where we get people on our Facebook page, Jaw Jack with Bob and TC, and they leave comments, and then we'll read some of the comments live and take a couple of questions. You can call us in at 708-223-8953, and we'll talk with you.
Yeah. Hey, you know what? Actually, the second segment is at 5:30 hour. It's called TC is always talking about something, but I actually might flip it around today.
Okay.
All right. Because we talked this week, and I agree with you totally. You were completely right. Right?
Wow.
About what we was talking about, right? We was talking about what we was completely right. So we're gonna switch it around today. All right. So it's gonna, and then the last segment is from Common Ground Challenge. It's where you would meet someone of a different race or background than you are. Sit down, 5 questions. We'll make sure we read those questions at the end of the day. And we encourage you to sit down at dinner, coffee, or whatever, and participate in the Common Ground Challenge. I'm not gonna waste any time by introducing our guest. He was here last week. We're gonna call him this week. We're gonna say friend.
All right.
A mentor. Well, that's all he gonna be today. He ain't gonna even be a pastor today. He gonna be a friend and a mentor today.
There you go.
Right?
That's right.
So, my friend, my mentor, Jason L. Perry. But today he is JP.
JP. All
What's
right.
up,
JP.
man?
What's up, man?
Good. How you doing?
Good.
Well, we're gonna pull the gloves off for you today, man.
All right. Pull them off.
TC been loaded this week, man. So we're gonna let TC get some things off his chest today.
All right, then.
He been loaded this week. I said,
I'm
okay,
a big boy. I can handle it.
that's how he been loaded. But so it don't make no sense for us wasting any time, T. So I know you loaded with the Kobe Bryant situation. So we're gonna let you crank off the Kobe Bryant situation. You know, the retirement of Kobe.
Yeah.
How do you want to do it? I know it's on your mind.
Oh, yeah. We can wait a little bit later for that.
Oh, you want to wait later for that?
Yeah. We wait
Okay, well, at least let's bring up this one. Like,
okay.
Golden State. Golden State won 73 games. They broke Chicago Bulls record. This question is for both of y'all. Is this the greatest team that we've ever seen?
No.
I agree with you.
No.
Golden
They're
State,
the greatest team this year, but they're not the greatest team ever.
even though they broke the record.
I mean, record-wise, they won the most games in NBA history. That's true.
Okay.
But they're not the best team in NBA history.
So I was thinking about some teams that probably could have beat them that wasn't even close to the record. I was thinking about some teams like I was thinking about the Portland Trailblazers when they had Scottie Pippen and Rasheed Wallace. That team they assembled, Detlef Schrempf. Do you think they could have beat that this current Golden State team? Or
it'd have been close. I think the old Portland would have beat them.
Which one with
the one with
Terry
Porter and Drexler and all them. I think
Jerome Kersey,
right? Duckworth,
them
guys, Ainge. They had a nice team. I think they would. I definitely think Barkley and '93 Phoenix Suns with KJ and all them would have.
Oh, the Phoenix Suns.
Yeah, they won the Bulls beat. But I think that team would have been hard, and I definitely don't think they'd have beat the Pistons. Bad boy Pistons.
Oh, the bad boy. No, I don't either.
No,
not that physical style of play.
Not close.
No, that was a good team with Isaiah, Joe Dumars.
Yeah.
Who was it? Mark Aguirre, because I think they traded Adrian Dantley.
They traded Dantley.
Yeah. You're good friends with Chauncey Billups.
Chauncey, yeah.
Chauncey, that's your man's, right?
Yes, good man.
Smooth brother.
Good man. Good
I
man.
think that Pistons team would have beat them too.
You think that with
Rip Hamilton,
Billups,
Rasheed Wallace, and Ben Wallace,
and Tayshaun Prince?
It'd have been tough.
They'd have been tough
That'd
too.
have been tough.
Yeah, they played a disciplined style of ball, but I don't know if
defense, guards. And when you play stuff, you see he got mad yesterday when Patrick Beverly got all up in him.
Yeah.
But that would have been every game.
Right.
All game against them Pistons.
right.
Teams. That's all that and them calls.
And the bench was deep. Them Pistons. Which one you talking about? You talking about
I'm just saying with Billups and Rip Hamilton, Tayshaun Prince, Shillis. I mean, Ben Wallace. Ain't no Draymond Green gonna just get Ben Wallace off them boards.
Yeah, no.
That's not Ben Wallace gonna play D.
Mm-hmm.
And then Rasheed Wallace is just he was good in that for them Pistons. I mean, I don't take nothing away from the Golden State Warriors.
Yeah.
They are great.
Mm-hmm.
Don't get me wrong. I watched them and Steph Curry is if he keep this up, he the almost unguardable player I've ever seen.
Yep.
That's with Jordan. I mean, I think Jordan the best player, but Steph Curry got handles with that ball.
Mm-hmm.
He's super quick and he shoot from anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
So you at his mercy. You just gotta hope he miss.
I think
he's unguardable.
I agree.
Yeah.
I don't understand. How can you guard that? You can't guard when this man bring the ball up.
Yeah.
And I saw a stat that showed he took 98 threes behind 34 feet. And hit 50 of them.
Yeah.
I mean, what can you do?
You play him tight. He go around you. You play off of him. He'll pull up on you.
I mean, he not better than Jordan. Don't get me wrong. Jordan the best I've ever seen. But far as watching him, you just got.
I'm a fan of the old rules, though. You know, the hand checking. You can put your hand in somebody's lower part of their back and push them out of position. I mean, that's how Jordan. I mean, even Kobe pretty much was the last of that era of basketball with that. You know, and I think that makes a difference because that's what
makes a huge difference.
That's where the fadeaway came from. With I guess I don't know if Jordan necessarily emulated Akeem Olajuwon fadeaway, but I know Akeem had a fadeaway. No, Akeem had the fadeaway before Jordan did because Akeem came in the league before Michael Jordan, didn't he? Akeem came in right and 80.
He came in. He's the number one pick in the draft
before Jordan because Akeem and Clyde Drexel came out the same year, right? So, because Drexel came out a year before Michael Jordan.
I don't think they came out the same year.
Who did?
I don't think.
Who's number one pick in 84?
In 84 was that was actually it was Akeem.
I know.
It was Akeem. You're right. Akeem, Sam Bowie, and Michael Jordan. Right. So, but I'm saying, didn't Akeem had a fadeaway down pat before Jordan started even doing it? It took Jordan years before he started patenting a fadeaway.
Wow.
He wasn't doing a fadeaway right off top.
I'm not sure because right now when we watched the game back then, Hakeem Olajuwon really wasn't. You ain't see all his games,
right?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? We just know we watched Jordan from Chicago.
Yeah.
You barely caught a Houston Rockets game. Unless they played the Bulls, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I can't say when he started doing it, but I mean, he had to been doing it. But I think he didn't get to that point until like when Jordan left and his fadeaway just got because Jordan was gone. In 2 years they won back to back.
Right.
And I really got a lot of Hakeem. So basketball now it's all over. You could catch games every day, almost during the week during the season.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That was my only point though. I just think that Hakeem made the fadeaway more patented before Michael Jordan adapted. I think that was one of the people that he watched and added something to his game based off of what he was seeing. I could use this. Because you dealing with that hand check with the Pistons and stuff like that. Jordan wasn't as patented with that fadeaway. He going either way. He went either way with it.
Yeah,
just like Kobe emulated that, successfully. I just don't.
I agree with you with the rules though.
Yeah,
because I don't think Steph Curry could get away with all that if he played in the rules back there.
Yeah,
I don't think
like Golden State, for instance, like with Baron Davis and Steven Jackson and Monty Ellis was on that team. Matt Barnes was on that team. That was a tough team to put Dallas out in the first.
Right, that was a tough team.
Yeah.
Again, we're not trying to rain on the Golden State Warriors now, man. They're a good team.
No, they're a great team.
But
different era.
Different rules. And for this era,
Yep.
Mm-hmm. But in them rules, nah, I don't even think he had a chance. I don't think they would.
It's funny you didn't even mention any of the Lakers
teams
or Boston teams.
Oh, they was tough too.
Boston team, they'll lose.
Think so?
They'll lose.
Who you talking about? With Larry Bird and
they'll lose.
Larry Bird and
they'll lose.
Kevin McHale.
They will lose.
Robert Parrish.
They will lose.
Why do you think so?
I mean, but basketball, I'm not taking nothing away from them. I watched them. I'm at the age where I can say I watched the Bird and Magic run. So, but Steph Curry on whoever, rest in peace, Dennis Johnson. He's a good defender, but I mean, then I'm just looking at the athletic ability, how athletic Golden State is, and then Boston had the Paris, McHale, Bird dynamic down there. The that's when people play with the big men. But when you're gonna take McHale and put him on the top of the key and try to stick Draymond Green off the dribble, that's a whole nother monster.
What about the Lakers when they had Kareem and James Worthy? Now James Worthy added
they would beat them.
Magic
them would beat them, but the only
Michael Cooper.
The only reason why, because the Lakers would have outscored.
The Lakers would outscored
Golden State.
It was too big for them.
They were just the way Magic ran that court, they'd have got him. Kareem would have took advantage of a lot of stuff. You know what I'm saying? That Kareem is different than Parrish to me. More stiffer,
Yeah.
Kareem would have been. They wouldn't did nothing with the Lakers. Neither Laker team, because Kobe and Shaq would have destroyed them.
Kobe and Shaq was tough too.
They wouldn't. There's no way they'd beat them teams either.
You was a junkie back then, wasn't you? Who was your squad, man?
I had a whole lot of them.
Oh, yeah.
I was a big Lakers fan.
Yeah.
Always been a Bulls fan, of course.
Yeah.
That's always top. But yeah, I was fan.
Right.
So yeah, I love those teams. I never was a big Boston fan. But
it must have been sad. But which Bulls fan? Like how far back?
Oh man, I'm an old man.
Okay.
I go back to Chet Walker and all those guys, man. I go all the way back there with them back. But I've been following the Bulls for a long time. So yeah, but I mean, the Bulls weren't really. They were okay, but it wasn't until Michael came that they went transcendent, and then that's when it really kicked up. But yeah,
they ain't give. When I was young, they ain't really give us nothing to root for because they had like Quentin Daly and Orlando Woolridge and Granville Waiters. Like you remember him, Brad Sellers.
Right.
Those were some horrible teams to watch. I'm not gonna even lie, man.
But to be honest, when I was young,
yeah,
I couldn't stand the Lakers.
Oh yeah,
I couldn't stand the Lakers. I never liked Magic Johnson.
Really?
Never.
Why?
I always like Isaiah Thomas.
Yeah.
And right there, if I was play basketball, I'd be a point guard, and the only way them guys could get me because they just taller and bigger, and that's how I looked at Magic. You can't hang with Isaiah. You just 6'9", talking about great vision. Man, if somebody stick you this little, you seeing everything. Of course you got great vision. I know to me, Magic Johnson is great. Don't get me wrong, because I know a lot of people ain't gonna like this statement, but I don't care. He's the most overrated superstar I've ever heard. Magic Johnson.
Why you say that, man?
Magic Johnson played no defense. Let's be real for a minute now. He was a great passer, and he's a great point guard, great team leader. He's a great. But let's dissect Magic Johnson for a second.
Yeah, okay, come on.
He can't dribble. Let's be real. He turned his back to you every time. You never seen Magic face nobody and give him something. Magic couldn't dribble.
What the art of dribbling is not getting ripped.
No. I'm saying now. I hear what you're saying about just being ripped, getting flexed. You turn your back to somebody, that don't mean you can dribble. That mean your body wider than the person you're trying to get across. Right. So it's the difference between dribbling and turning your back to somebody.
Okay.
That's all I'm saying.
Okay.
But that's him in the post. That wasn't him coming down the fast break.
I mean, on the fast break, ain't nobody in front of him. I'm talking when he played the Pistons. And I'm just being real. I watched it. Now, y'all be Magic fans, but if you're going to look at the facts I'm saying, take your emotions away and look at what I'm saying. When Magic brought that ball up on that court against the Pistons, and on fast break, of course, he on a break. His back. He couldn't bring it up. He couldn't guard Isaiah Thomas. He's sticking Rodman. When he played the Bulls, he's sticking Paxson. He couldn't stick nobody. Let's just be real about Magic. Now, he's a great team leader, take nothing away from him, but comparing him to Kobe Bryant, you're going to have to just look at your emotions and how fun it was watching the Lakers and he was the one being the point guard, because you're not going to talk about his actual abilities compared to Kobe's. It's not even a comparison. When they say Magic the best Laker, yeah, Magic was the time when they brought basketball in, Showtime, and they was a great team, and he was great. But when you just take Magic away and just look at Magic and compare him to the individuals they throwing him over, no way. No way. Magic wasn't even athletically ability and all that. He wasn't better than Scottie Pippen. Magic
as far as
Johnson.
his
As far as if you
game.
just take Magic Johnson and his abilities compared to Scottie Pippen and his abilities.
You're talking about just pure basketball.
Just pure basketball. Let's be real. He wasn't a better scorer.
I mean, I think play a huge part in sports. I mean, when you got an IQ, when you can get people in the right position, when you can inspire people to step up beyond their own talent.
But see, you talking about I'm the point.
Yeah.
But what you're talking about has nothing to do with Magic's physical ability. That's all I'm saying.
That's like saying Harold Miner because his physical ability.
But he can't do nothing.
You know what I'm saying is IQ. You gotta factor in IQ.
You do
in every sport. Because I mean, you go look at the physical ability. I mean, I'm gonna jump sports for a second, but if you go look at the physical ability of someone like Joe Montana, Joe Montana didn't have this extraordinary physical ability like someone like John Elway. The arm, the speed. You know, but
that's why Montana wasn't a better quarterback than John Elway.
But he goes down in history in a lot of people's eyes as being better than Montana.
Just like Tom Brady going down better than a lot of people, but he's not.
Right, but his IQ.
See, that's why I say he on. Let's be real for a minute, Bob.
Right.
Let's just be honest for a minute.
We be honest.
If you think Dan Marino had them teams that Joe Montana played with, he wouldn't have won a Super Bowl.
I don't know. I don't know because IQ play a part in it.
Wow.
That's what I'm saying. I don't know. You don't know. You just because physical ability there.
We watched it. Only thing stopped it, their defense wasn't no good because Montana could throw that ball. Right. I'm just saying you don't have to. I know we can't. It's not a video game, and we can't just put people in place. But you're watching those sports to know that what kept Elway from winning Super Bowls at first. What kept Marino from winning. It ain't nothing about Joe Montana better. Because you cannot tell me he threw that ball better than Dan Marino. You can't say that.
No. I mean, no, that not the physical ability of it. No,
but the fact he had Jerry Rice on one side of him compared to an offensive line that was better, tight, a nice full black that could block, they had good defense over there. He had everything around it.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's. I mean,
when you blend teams that get good, I don't care what sport you're talking about. IQ have got to play a part in it because when you go to the camaraderie that's built, you know, all of the meetings you're going to and everything else. All that's developing the player. You're developing along the way. It ain't just physical ability alone. You can look at a whole bunch of sports and look at people that was off the chart with physical ability, but never developed into being good.
So I'm not talking about none. I'm talking about the ones that's got the physical ability,
right? And
they put it out there and they did it. I named Kobe. I didn't name no guy just because he can jump 7 feet off the air. I named somebody that
Kobe
took that talent
very good
and he put it to work. That's who I'm naming. I mean, of course, there's a lot of people with talent that didn't even make it when they got to the NBA, but they was talented. I'm not talking about that aspect. I'm talking about when you compare Jordan, Kobe, even LeBron, you want to put him in that conversation, Magic, and you look at all them, he the only one don't play defense. He the only one that can't really take nobody off the dribble. I'm just being real. Just fact. He was a great point guard, a great leader, and a champion. You can't take it from him. But if you compare him to these guys, they putting him over. He don't go over Larry Bird. He wasn't better than no Larry Bird. Let's just be honest.
Who, Magic?
Yes. Magic Bird brought a whole different element to the game that Magic couldn't do. Magic had a great team around him, and he knew how to run it, and he was great.
Bird had a great team around him.
Bird was the catalyst. I'm talking about, we're just going off what he can do on the court. Bird was shooting that ball. Bird was doing what he's supposed to do. Magic did his thing because he had a team to give it to him. So I'm not talking about the Laker teams was great. But now we comparing the players. You can't bring Kareem and them in this conversation. I'm comparing this person against this person, compare their abilities, and he don't stack up to a lot of guys.
It's hard to do that a lot the way you're doing it to me in team sports. Like team sport, when you think of the Lakers at that time, you think of Magic. You know, you're not thinking of Kareem. You're thinking of Magic because somebody was the person who sold that together, and it was him. Right. Kareem got hurt in his rookie year, and Magic came in and played center. So Magic playing 5 positions on the court.
That is so overrated. Don't go there, Bob.
That's not overrated.
Don't. One thing here we do, in case y'all don't know, we will keep real with each other. Yeah. Don't come talk that TV talk to me because he didn't play it. He jumped the ball. He did not guard.
I'm a Magic fan. This
right. So who did he guard? Did he guard at center? Did he guard at center?
Did he guard? I don't remember.
No, he didn't. Well, he jumped the ball. He didn't never go down there and play no center defense. Don't sit there and say he played all 5 positions.
Yeah, he did. I mean, he did.
Okay.
He scored 42 points to win them the championship.
He jumped the ball. And he the tallest one, so he played center. Oh, Bob, stop, man. Don't read that.
We can't lead this conversation though without talking about Kobe. Okay, I mean it's that time now.
Right now,
it wasn't time, but now it's time. But here's the thing with Kobe. You know, I must admit that Kobe grew on me. Because I know I couldn't stand Kobe.
You know, I know that.
You know what I'm saying? Kobe was my
day one.
Erratic, arrogant. He was a lot of things to me at first, originally. He grew on me. I mean, he grew on me. I think when LeBron came of age is when I really started appreciating Kobe. Because everything LeBron was, you know, trying to be or whatever, Kobe was. Like, so it was like, man, it made you appreciate Kobe in a different way. It was things other than Kobe game that made me not like Kobe in a way. It was all his, you know, tricking on Shaq about the little situation that went down. You know, it's like, man, come on, man. What kind of teammate is this? So, you know, I'm being honest. I'm just being honest.
Yeah.
That made me really start appreciating Kobe game a little more once LeBron came in. And you could easily compare what Kobe was on the court to the old school as opposed to LeBron and his prima donna nature of things that are newer athletes.
Right.
That made me start appreciating Kobe more. Like, man, you know what, Kobe? So, and I must admit, in Kobe last game, when he put that 60 up, it brought like what you call the sports emotions out of me. Like, Kobe finna be gone. Right. You know what I'm saying? Right. I felt it. I was like, Kobe about to be gone after 20 years of witnessing. Used to call him Baby Mike.
Oh yeah, since day one. Kobe Bryant was my dude.
Yeah,
he's my dude.
Yeah,
that's why I don't compare him to none of these Waves and LeBron, no, because that's not his era. Okay, he played against the 3-peat Bulls with Rodman now. Okay, he put up 26, 25 on Jordan. But when everybody want to be honest, they didn't like Kobe Bryant because they said he tried to be like Jordan too much. But when we all was little, that was the commercial. Be like Mike, but he the only one who succeeded. You know? So they hated on him. And then the way he did Jordan, people remember. They didn't like that what he did to Jordan, send him out in the Wizards. When he took the throne, you know, he took advantage of Jordan. So, you know, he got a lot of people didn't like him. But Kobe Bryant was my favorite player.
Oh, yeah.
Jordan, the best of all time. Don't get me wrong, but Kobe was my favorite.
Right,
because
that's why your opinions sound like that.
Yeah, that's
your
what
favorite player.
He's my favorite.
You know what I'm saying? And other people look at his details in the same light you look.
But they don't want to look at a lot of things with Kobe. They try to use all these stats, analytics to pump up another player. Let's keep it real about Kobe. Yeah, he probably wouldn't have won 5 rings without Shaq.
No, he wouldn't.
But I bet you he'd have had way more points in his career. He sacrificed a lot of his career too. He's still eating up passing Jordan, and he wasn't a man in the prime of his career. Let's just be real.
Well, it's a difference between what you're talking about. I mean, we talking about with Jordan, he would have had more points or something.
I'm talking about the scoring.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about, the scoring element of his game.
All right. I'm gonna tell y'all. I'm gonna share with y'all. I was going to. I'm gonna switch it up.
Go ahead.
I was went to Flint, Michigan this weekend, and on my way to Flint, coming from Canton, Michigan, I was traveling to Flint, and I stopped in White Lake, Michigan. I stopped at this gas station at White Lake, Michigan, and when I stopped at White Lake, Michigan, it was these 2 trucks out there of some singers, some promotional guys for this group from Nashville, Tennessee. So they was out there pumping their CDs up. So I went over to them and they want, I said, well, I'd be interested in buying a CD, but you got to do this Common Ground challenge with me that I pump up on this radio show that we do. So, they agree. Oh, yes, sir, we'll do it, sir. So I went over there and I asked them the first question. And the first question, I was like, so what are you proud about your culture? You know, they had this truck with these big rebel flags on it. You know what I'm saying? You know, they had the album cover on there, but you know, they was from Nashville, Tennessee.
Okay.
And the guy answer was pretty amazing. He said, man, he said, the thing that I'm most proud about on my about my culture is I know I'm white, and I walk in white privilege, and you know, and I benefit from it, and I know I do. You know, and his first answer was so shocking to me. Like I was like, dang, like I don't even think I asked him all 5 questions, because the first one sparked the conversation, just going back and forth, you know. And I was like, wow, you know, so I left the gas station feeling some kind of way, like, wow, that was so honest. You know, we you know, I gave him some honesty back about the questions. And then so I left there and went to Flint. And then when you go to Flint, Flint is you know, kind of been devastated, you know, with the water crisis going on, the economic you know, disasters that's happening in Flint, Michigan. And it brought me, you know, I guess brought me back to a sense of what you was talking about in your book, disrespecting the family. Mm-hmm. So it brought the of man, all of the dysfunctional households in Flint, all of the dysfunctional households throughout the society. Flint is one of the 10 most dangerous cities in the United States of America. And I just want to share with you, and then I'll have you jump in. Number 10, 10 most dangerous cities in the United States of America. St. Louis, Missouri is number 10. Number 9 is Oakland, California. Number 8 is Saginaw, Michigan. Number 7 this year, 2016, is Flint, Michigan. Number 6 is Memphis, Tennessee. Number 5 is Wilmington, Delaware. Wilmington, Delaware. Number 4, right? I didn't even, you know, that's funny. Number 4 is Alexandria, Louisiana. Number 3 is Detroit, Michigan. Number 2 is Camden, New Jersey, and number 1 is East St. Louis, Illinois. And you know, one of the things that most of those have in common, the common denominator. What do you think the common denominator is? I'm just asking you a question.
What is the common denominator?
Out of all of those cities,
they don't have Major League Baseball teams.
Is that the big guess here?
I guess St. Louis does. So.
Right.
No, I don't know. What's the common denominator, Bob?
Well, most of those populations are black, predominantly majority black. Yeah. They're majority black. The 10 most dangerous cities. I've been pretty much following the 10 most dangerous cities for probably the last 5 years, and I noticed that they just jump back and forth. Like Flint was number 1 a few years ago. Detroit was number 1. It shared time at number 1. Gary was number 1 at the time, and that drove me back to, I guess, part of, you know, the concept in your book when you was talking about disrespect and some of the concepts that go into addressing dysfunctional families in the United States. So I just wanted to know what you thought about that reality.
Wow.
I'm not even sure what to say about that, Bob. I mean, I guess, well, just in terms of your list, I think I've been to all these places except Wilmington, Delaware, and that one kind of surprised. Well, I haven't been to is it Alexandria?
Louisiana.
I've never been there. But that one about Wilmington kind of surprises me.
Wilmington.
Delaware?
Yeah.
You know what? What's funny is during President Obama's run for office in 2007, I did a study on every state, and it was 20% blacks in Delaware. And that blew me. I was like, what black people doing in Delaware? Who moved to Delaware? You know what I'm saying? Out of all places, that number, the percentage number shocked me. I said 20%, you know, and I wasn't really sure. That's where Delaware came from. So
I ain't never heard of that at all. I never even heard about them in the news or anything.
No, I haven't either. Like I said, that's shocking that they're number 5.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but you know, that is sad, because I think that the issue, as you just mentioned, the fact that if those numbers you just mentioned are accurate, the fact that all of these are predominantly African American communities. Man, I hate to make generalizations.
Yeah,
I hate to paint with such a broad brush, but that's kind of an indictment. But I think it also says something about, as you mentioned, the destruction or the disintegration of the family.
Mm-hmm.
I really think that when we start looking at how do you live in community with other people, it starts with you living in community within your own household.
Mm-hmm.
And if you don't know how to if you don't know how to handle disagreements,
mm-hmm.
conflict,
mm-hmm.
deal with authority in your own house, you walk outside of that where your mom and your dad are God,
mm-hmm.
Where they're the ultimate authority, and you don't respect that.
Mm-hmm.
You're not going to respect somebody else who has a lesser authority.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that becomes a trickle down where it just spreads from person to person, and our communities end up in chaos. So I don't think that's a reality that is purely Black people.
Mm-hmm.
But unfortunately, we do see it within our own community a whole lot more than it should be.
Mm-hmm.
So
I'm just looking at this list. It's like 3 places from Michigan.
Yes, Saginaw, Michigan, Flint, Michigan, and Detroit, Michigan, and it's a few other ones. Ypsilanti is not a great. I don't know. They're not on that list, but I think
so
they might.
Chicago didn't make this list.
No, Chicago's in the top 100 though, but they are not in the top 10.
Surprised
It's
Newark
per capita though.
It's
per capita. So it's just based on.
I'm surprised Newark isn't on there.
Newark, I think Newark was on there. I believe last year or the year before last. I saw Newark, New Jersey on there.
And Gary not in here.
Yeah, they used to be, but I think some things have changed in Gary to the point where they're not making the top 10 list. Gary used to be number 1 at one time. And let me ask you another question. Morality. We was talking about this the other day. Morality. This one we got to pull the gloves off a little bit. So did you want to pose a question, or you want me to pose?
No, just go ahead. You can set it up right.
We was talking. You said something too earlier. You said most people don't know how to talk to pastors or preachers. Most people don't know how to talk to them, converse with them.
Mm-hmm.
So with all of this stuff that's going on with a lot of people, quote unquote, in positions of morality, how much do you think Americans are kind of losing faith in people of morality, or people of, clergymen?
Yeah, I don't think there's any question about it. I'll be honest with you. Last week when you made a big deal about me being a pastor, I was like, man, stop doing that.
Yeah.
Because very simple. I rarely tell people, not because I'm ashamed of it, but I rarely tell people that I'm a pastor when I first meet them. Almost never do I tell somebody that I don't know that I'm a pastor.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't do that for this reason. I found is that people, because of so much of the dysfunction and the mess that we see within the church and among leaders, I found that people make a judgment about me based upon my title and without even knowing who I am.
Mm-hmm.
And so what I like when I tell people, when I first meet people, start talking to them, I just tell them, they say, what do you do? I said, well, I'm a motivational speaker and an author.
Really?
Which is true. I very rarely tell anybody when I first meet them.
So you ain't ashamed.
It's not a matter of ashamed. It's this simple. What I have found is that my experience has been when I tell people that immediately, they change because they don't know how to talk to me.
Mm-hmm.
They think I'm going to judge them. They got this image of who I am based upon a title, and therefore they change. Either they become more aggressive because they're angry about something, or they just like, well, man, I don't know if I can really be honest. What if I curse? Oh, I'm sorry, dude. You catch me at the wrong time, I might let something slip. So what I'm saying is that people don't know how to do it. So it changes fundamentally our interaction. We can't have an honest interaction because people struggle just to be themselves. And so that's why I say that I don't have any problem of saying who I am. Now, once I get to know people, I don't have a problem with it. Or once they get to know me, and if they ask me enough, I'll tell them. But for me, I would rather you get to know me and determine that I'm a jerk rather than assume it based upon my title.
That's true. That's true.
You see what I'm saying? So I think that, I fully get the animosity, the doubt, the lack of trust.
Why?
I fully get it.
Why do you fully get it? I'm saying why?
Because I see it, because I feel it myself sometimes. I mean, I look at it and I'm embarrassed some of the stuff that I see in the name of the church.
Yeah.
the stuff that I see representing what I do with my life, and I see that, man, that does not represent me. That doesn't represent the God that I know. It represents a selfishness. It represents a greed. You know, it represents some unhealthiness even in their own lives, but it doesn't represent what I believe to be true about what God called me to do.
Right.
And so as a result of that, I don't want to completely cut off the opportunity to have a relationship with you and a conversation with you because you have a preconceived notion about what I do. I'd rather you get to know me and then we can talk. Let me just say this really quick. Martin Luther King made this comment. This statement, one of the most famous statements he's ever made. He says, I have a dream that one day my children, won't be judged by the content of their skin, by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character, right? But there's only one problem, is that you don't get to know the content of my character until you sit down and get to know me. Until then, when you come to see me, I'm going to see what I see. That's what I'm going to judge. So therefore, when I put that out there, because of so much negativity that's happened within the church, and it's real, I'm not going to deny that. It's real. I'd be lying to say, oh no, everything is cool. No, it ain't. And so for you to judge me on the basis of that does not give me an opportunity to be me, and you get to know me.
That's true.
Wouldn't it be fair though to say that? I mean, when I'm saying now, let's talk religion specifically, Christianity.
Yeah.
Wouldn't it be fair to say Christianity has a history and a track record of giving, what they claim is a black guy? When you're talking about the Ku Klux Klan, Christians, I mean, when you can go on and on down the list of, it challenged me to believe in faith when most of the black people back in the 60s probably was converting over to Islam, when Muhammad Ali was popular, because it was like, man, you making us serve your white God is Christianity, wouldn't it be fair? And then you go to the black communities, it's like a liquor store, then a church. I mean, all these churches,
they don't have any impact on the community.
They have no impact on the community, and it's about 100 of them, and within a 5 to 10 mile radius. So, wow, I mean, what's the good news? What's the good news? Wouldn't you see the impact in these 10 most dangerous cities in the United States of America? Wouldn't you see the impact of an inconsistent morality? And I mean, it's sad to say that you have to dig beyond the surface of religion in order to even declare what you believe.
Yeah.
Because you have no evidence your walk with Christianity works outside of, your what you may provide.
Yeah.
No,
I don't want to dominate the conversation. I want to say something.
Okay, now go ahead.
Okay,
go ahead. That's a good point, bro. That's a good question.
I think that I think where you have to make the distinction, where I have to make the distinction. I've been doing this for 40 years, and I ain't gonna lie to you. I say this often. I don't have a problem saying it. After 40 years, and what I've seen, I get sick of the church. To be completely honest.
Wow.
Okay, and I've said this across the pulpit. I get sick of the church because but you have to understand what I'm sick of. I'm not sick of the concept of the church. I'm not sick of the church that God created. I'm sick of the church that what has become. And I think that you have to make the distinction when you start talking about religion and faith. You have to make the distinction between the religion and your faith. There's a difference. Your religion is your system in terms of how you express your faith. His faith is at the core of you in terms of what you believe in your relationship with God. There's a difference between relationship with God and your religion. And I think that what people are sick of, what people are frustrated with, is the organized religion in terms of what it has become, and sometimes the hypocrisy of it.
Yeah.
Sometimes the so many negative things you can point to.
Yeah.
That's just the reality of it, And so I think that's what people have become. And so for me, I have to make the distinction between what I read in the scripture, said this is what, and what people turn it into. I got a little story I want to tell about that.
Sure.
I don't know if you want to jump.
Yeah, I just said, especially, okay, I said, most of these cities are predominantly probably black.
Yeah.
And we speaking on the pastors and everything that, you know, and it's in the communities about religion anyway. So do you think that plays a part? Because like a lot of these communities, they trust in their faith. And not only in their having raised right, that everyone that's put in a position to either guide them or lead them, whether it's police officers, some of them, not all, some pastors, they let them down. So don't think that contribute probably to what's going on in these communities, because the ones they look for guidance, they can't trust them. You barely can trust the police officer. He's just supposed to serve and protect you. You barely can trust them. You go to church, and some of the pastors you find out you can't even trust them. So that brings up a doubt in religion and faith and God. So if you out here believing and you can't nothing, I mean, the result of that is what's going on in this community.
That's exactly. And if you remember what I talked about last week about this, the thing that impacted me about 5 years ago, this idea that came to my mind, this idea of gatekeepers.
Right. Yeah, I remember that.
You know, police are gatekeepers, pastors are gatekeepers, parents are gatekeepers, educators are gatekeepers. There are these people that when you go to the gate, the fence, the wall protects the city. The gate is the entrance into that. So the people at the gate are the ones who are supposed to protect you. They're the ones who are supposed to be the role models. They're the ones who are supposed to be the filters, the wisdom, the bearers of wisdom, the guiders. I'm supposed to be able to go to you and say, hey, man, I'm struggling. What am I supposed to do? I need some help. Give me some wisdom. When you go there and they're gone, you go there and they taking bribes. You go there and wait a minute, what am I supposed to have left? What am I supposed to believe in? It's without a question. Without a question, that impacts the moral fiber, the resilience of a city, kids' hope. What am I supposed to believe in if the ones that, man, if Superman is a freak, then what am I supposed to believe in?
Exactly.
So, you know, I'm waiting for Superman, and Superman got a 40 on the corner. What am I supposed to do?
That's true.
I was wanting to tie that into, you know, I guess the way we follow sports too, the way we sort of idolize certain players, you know, or certain entertainers. I'm gonna say entertainers, you know, because, you know, if, you know, I remember a few years ago when Snoop remember that song Snoop Dogg made, rolling on gin and juice, laid back, and then the sale of gin and juice went through the roof. Tanqueray gin went through the roof. You know, it's like, why do we idolize? I mean, this ties into, I think, the philosophy of what you're talking about. Why the black community idolize? We seem to follow the entertainer, the latest fad of the entertainer, whether it's Jay-Z or Kobe Bryant or whatever, Michael Jordan. Like, we won't let Michael Jordan go. We won't let him go. And Michael Jordan don't seem like he for the people at all. We won't even let him go. He didn't sold the same shoes about 5 or 10 times, the exact same shoes over and over again, and his price going up and up again. And I don't know what his impact in the community is. I don't know all of the outreach he does, but we so quick to jump on and idolize because there's no structure to me in those communities. So we look at the celebrity or the entertainer like a superhero.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
You know I remember TC made a statement one time about Lil Wayne, and then we was talking about rap music, hip hop. You know, you said this. You said, man, Lil Wayne wasn't about to be no doctor. So he turned around, got on the mic, and started saying this little yada 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 yada, and he looked like he got money for it. And he's like, wait a minute, I can do this all day.
Right.
You know, and now with the challenge of morality, now the moral leadership,
right?
No morality, no evidence of morality.
Yeah.
All of the upper leadership of the white people taking advantage of the black people. There's no morality, no fathers in the house. What are these communities left to do, specifically the men? What are they left? Identity. They have no identity.
Yeah, that's
nothing to turn to.
That I wouldn't say there's nothing. I think that even within these communities, there are pockets. Now, there are pockets. There are folks that are doing phenomenal work that nobody know about.
That's true. Absolutely
you know
right.
What I'm saying?
That's true.
There's some brothers and some sisters that are hanging with young people that are doing great things, great work. They will never get on CNN because it's not sensational.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but they're doing work. And I think that the reality is that, you know, can we completely turn all these off? Probably can't. But that doesn't mean that we don't continue to work at that we have, whatever our circle is. We start to do something, make a difference there. You know, that old illustration people use, little boy walking along the beach, and he sees the starfish, you know, all washing up on the shore, and it's just thousands of them, and he throws one back into the sea and throws one back, and the old fisherman says, you know, you ain't gonna save all of them. He said, well, I can save this one. And I think about that again. I look at my own life, man. If I had just simply looked at the big picture, I would have quit. I would have been destroyed by that. I mean, I look at the community I grew up in, and man, I don't see major difference now than what I did when I went back there to work in 1982. I don't see major differences. Matter of fact, I still see some of the same guys hanging out at the VIP. You know, well, it's not the VIP anymore. Now it's the gas station. You know, but I see the same guys. But I also know when I look at my Facebook page and I start seeing some of those kids that I spoke into 30 years ago, and I could just go down my Facebook page and tell you, Mr. Perry, thank you. You turned my life around. You know, I remembered what you said. I just talked to a young lady just 2 weeks ago, and it's telling me something. She's 40, just turned 40, and she's telling me something I said to her when I was 13 years old that changed her life. And I'm thinking, I don't even remember talking to you. So what I'm saying is that we can make a difference, and you don't know the power of that one. So we cannot get discouraged by the overall despair. We can't get sucked into the despair. We have to be able to say, you know what, I can't change everything, but I can change you. And who knows the power of one? Man, the power of Martin Luther King, the power of Adolf Hitler. One person. What that one person did. And so that is what my hope is. My hope is not in being able to turn around everything, but it's wherever I intersect with a life, am I living the life that I'm supposed to live? I can't speak for Reverend Jones and Bishop so-and-so. I can't speak for them, you know, and I won't speak for them, but I can speak for me. I say, am I living the life I'm supposed to, and trying to influence?
That's a great point.
And other people, and the young people, whoever, whatever people. And they ain't always young. I mean, the young brothers we did it on Saturday. They ain't all young, but I can intersect with their life. If I can impact them, then I'm doing what I'm supposed to do.
I do understand what you're saying, and that is it's fair, because when people, what you said earlier is true. You initially come out and they're a pastor or a reverend, and you meet them. You know, unfortunately, you think about whatever you seeing about these guys. You know what I'm saying? So, and it does either bring you some attitude, or it'll bring you like, well, I'm not even gonna say nothing. So that is true. And I think by making that point, we all, you know, as a people need to understand, because that's the number one problem I think is out here. You know, we judge people too fast. Everybody judge somebody. That's a little guy with a nice car, his music playing, he automatically a drug dealer. He don't know he could be coming from Pepsi. At his job, he just like his music loud. They put the speakers in the car, the volume go up. I mean, I don't understand, but that's how you judge people, you know. And that's one thing I think, especially us as our race. That's the first thing we do. Like Bob was saying earlier, they see Jay-Z or Beyonce, they judge. That's what it's supposed to be. So they shoot for what that fakeness instead of just sometimes you don't know what they going through. It might look all sweet, you know, but we all do judge. And unfortunately, and when you judge people or situations, all you do is reflect on what you know or what you've been through. And if it's not a good situation, that person, like if you had a bad situation with a pastor, then you'll catch it automatically.
I often tell people, if you get bit by a dog, the dog probably is not biting you. It's probably biting the last 5 people that hit it. And so I guarantee you there were some people last week, you know, and you made the deal with Pastor Perry. There's some people right there and they went, please. And they didn't hear anything I said. They didn't hear anything I said because they had this preconceived notion about what it was. And therefore they listened through the ears, through this filter. Of their experience, rather than stopping instead and start. So let me see what he has to say.
That's true. Y'all missed some good stuff too. You ain't listened to this.
Make sure you how can people get in contact with you? Your books.
Yeah, if you want to get in contact with me, jperry@oaktreeleadership.com. jperry@oaktreeleadership.com. Great way if you want to reach me, want to talk to me, speaking engagements. I speak on a number of different topics, not just Christian topics. I do professional development in schools around respect and a number of different things, leadership development and things like that. So give me a call and talk to me. Yeah. But you can call me, check me on the, you can reach me through my website, www.oaktreeleadership.com. You can find my books on there as well.
Okay. Now, I really appreciate you coming these 2 weeks. We set up a foundation of, how we're going to be doing outreaches. To follow up on your point, well, let me just read these 5 common ground questions real quick. Number 1 is, what are you proud of in your culture? Number 2 is, describe one of the first times you were the only one in your race in a situation. How did you feel, and how often does it happen? Number 3 is, how do such experiences affect your feelings about the people who are different from you? Number 4, what would you like to see changed about how people of different cultures relate to each other? And number 5, before ending your time together, share something you have in common with your common ground partner and post it on Facebook. Share what your experience is with us. We'll love to read some on air, some of the interactions. You got anything else, TC?
No, not really. We talked about the COVID thing. We talked about a little sports today. We were a little far, but it felt good to talk about it for a minute, But I do want to thank you, though, Jason. Wrap it up.
4 minutes. I just want to tell this one story, one last story about Flint. When we went down, and Living Springs Church, it was Reverend Williams at Second Friendship Church and Bishop Bernadale Jefferson. We sent out $1,000 to both of their causes, basically 500 down the middle. And actually, this weekend I went down and I met Bishop Jefferson for the first time. I already met Reverend Williams, but I met Bishop Jefferson for the first time. She's housed at this church called Hands of Holy Love. I can't remember. I'm botching the name up, but I actually saw people who were making a difference. They had a whole gymnasium full of water. The pastor of this church that they're operating out of, her name is Willie Ruth Moore. So country lady, but beautiful spirits. Both of them had some beautiful spirits about them. They really just was trying to help with all of the resources. They got truckloads coming in from Ford Motor Company from all over the United States, and they have other items that they need like shampoo and baby oil. So the fight in Flint, Michigan is far from over. So if you have any items that you want to donate, we're going to post them on Jaw Jacking with Bob and TC. Any of these items that we post, if you want to contribute, we're going to go down there next month to take a truckload of whatever we can accumulate down there. So if you want to participate on that matter, feel free to do so. And just hit us up on Jaw Jacking with Bob and TC. And we really appreciate you listening.
Oh, yeah, it's a good show, y'all.
Man. Thanks for having me again. I appreciate it.
Man, the lady mayor from Flint. Oh, the governor. They got him on an indictment, but he's wiggling through the cracks right now because he studied putting out firm, these ploy type things like we're gonna make water restrictions harder, but it's an after the fact type thing. So I think they got him on investigation for I think embezzlement. I can't think of which one. I don't want to misquote on that one, but I'll give you some feedback on that next week. All right. And that's it. Welcome to Jaw Jacking. We appreciate y'all sitting there and listening for a minute.
Oh yeah, y'all enjoy y'all week. Be safe out there. Enjoy this weather.
All right, man. Be blessed.
Mm-hmm.